OutDaughtered. Adam Busby hits a low after slicing his finger open, and Blayke, 12, suffers panic attack exclusive. Life inside the Busby household has never been simple, but even by their standards, the recent events unfolding behind the scenes have tested the family in ways they weren't fully prepared for. Fans of OutDaughtered have watched Adam and Danielle Busby navigate parenthood with 6 daughters, demanding careers, health scares, and constant public attention. Still, what happened recently marked a deeply personal and emotional low point, one that exposed how quickly everyday life can spiral into fear, stress, and vulnerability. In an exclusive look into the family's reality, Adam Busby found himself physically injured during what should have been an ordinary moment, while his oldest daughter, Blayke, quietly battled an overwhelming emotional episode that left the entire family shaken. These weren't dramatic moments staged for television. They were raw, human experiences that reminded everyone watching that even strong, resilient families can struggle when pressure builds too high. Adam Busby has always been the steady presence in the family, the one who pushes through exhaustion, manages work, and keeps things moving even when chaos fills the house. But this time, the pressure caught up with him in a very real way. During a routine task at home, Adam accidentally sliced his finger open. It wasn't just a small inconvenience or a minor cut that could be brushed off with a joke. The injury was painful, disruptive, and symbolic of how worn down he had become. Adam later admitted that the incident happened at a time when he was already running on empty. Between parenting responsibilities, business obligations, and the emotional toll of constant scrutiny, his focus wasn't where it usually was. He described feeling frustrated with himself, not just for the injury, but for reaching a point where exhaustion made him careless. What made the situation harder was that Adam wasn't just dealing with physical pain. The injury forced him to slow down, something he has always struggled with. As someone who prides himself on being present and dependable, suddenly needing help even temporarily was emotionally difficult. He expressed feeling guilty that something so simple had turned into yet another burden for the family. Danielle, who has faced her own health challenges over the years, immediately stepped in, but she could see that Adam wasn't okay on a deeper level. She later shared that the injury was a wake-up call. It wasn't just about a finger, it was about burnout. It was about how much pressure Adam had been carrying without fully acknowledging it. While Adam was dealing with his own low point, an even more concerning situation was unfolding quietly with Blayke. At 12 years old, Blayke has grown up in front of cameras, surrounded by attention, responsibility, and expectations that most kids her age never experience. As the oldest sibling, she has often taken on a helper role, setting an example for her younger sisters and appearing mature beyond her years. But beneath that maturity, Blayke has been processing a lot. Recently, Blayke experienced a panic attack, something that caught her parents off guard and left them deeply concerned. Adam and Danielle later explained that it wasn't something they had expected, nor something Blayke had fully understood herself at the moment. It came on suddenly, overwhelming her with intense fear and physical discomfort that she couldn't easily explain. For Adam, witnessing his daughter go through that was more distressing than his own injury. He admitted that seeing Blayke struggle emotionally made him feel helpless in a way he hadn't before. As a parent, you want to protect your child from pain, but panic doesn't announce itself or follow logic. It arrives unexpectedly and leaves confusion in its wake. Danielle described the moment as heartbreaking. Blayke didn't know what was happening to her, and that uncertainty made it worse. Danielle shared that they had always tried to create an environment where their children felt safe expressing emotions, but this was different. This wasn't just sadness or stress, it was fear that felt out of control. The family quickly realized that Blayke had been internalizing more than they had noticed. Between school, social pressures, and the unique experience of growing up on reality television, Blayke had been carrying silent stress. Adam admitted that he and Danielle had assumed Blayke was okay because she rarely complained. In hindsight, that assumption was a mistake. Adam openly reflected on how his own stress may have affected his children. He acknowledged that kids are observant, even when parents think they're hiding their struggles. Blayke had seen the tension, the fatigue, and the emotional weight her parents were carrying, and it had left an impact. The panic attack became a turning point for the family. Adam and Danielle decided it was time to slow everything down and reassess their priorities. They emphasized that no schedule, project, or public expectation was more important than their children's emotional well-being. Adam shared that this period forced him to confront his own limits. The finger injury had already made him feel vulnerable, but Blayke's panic attack made him realize that pushing through stress without addressing it wasn't just affecting him, it was affecting his family. Danielle echoed that sentiment, explaining that parents often believe they need to be strong all the time, but strength also means knowing when to pause. She emphasized that mental health isn't something you wait to address once things become unmanageable. It needs attention early, especially with kids who may not yet have the words to explain what they're feeling. Blayke's experience opened up important conversations within the household. Adam and Danielle spoke with her about what panic is, reassuring her that she wasn't broken or weak. They made sure she understood that experiencing intense anxiety doesn't define her and that she isn't alone. They also made changes as a family. Expectations were adjusted. Pressure was reduced. Adam intentionally stepped back from certain commitments, despite feeling uncomfortable doing so. He admitted that saying no doesn't come easily to him, but protecting his family had to come first. For viewers, this moment revealed a side of the Busbys that felt deeply relatable. Behind the cheerful chaos and polished moments, there is real vulnerability. Adam's injury and Blayke's panic attack weren't dramatic storylines, they were reminders that stress accumulates, and if ignored, it finds a way out. Adam later described this chapter as one of the lowest points he has faced, not because of the pain itself, but because of what it revealed. He realized he had been running on autopilot, assuming he could handle everything without consequence. The truth was something had to give. Danielle expressed gratitude that they caught these warning signs when they did. She acknowledged that it could have been easy to dismiss Blayke's experience as a one-time incident, but instead, they chose to take it seriously. That decision, she believes, made all the difference. Blayke has since shown strength in learning how to talk about her feelings. Adam proudly shared that she has become more open, asking questions and expressing when she feels overwhelmed. While the journey isn't over, the family feels better equipped to face it together. Adam also shared that his injury healed, but the emotional impact of that moment stayed with him. It served as a reminder that even strong hands can falter when the mind is overloaded. He emphasized the importance of listening to your body and your family before reaching a breaking point. Through it all, the Busbys have continued to share their story not for attention, but to normalize these experiences. Panic attacks, burnout, and emotional lows don't discriminate. They can happen in any household, regardless of how put together things may appear from the outside. Adam and Danielle hope that by being honest, other parents and kids will feel less alone. They want viewers to know that asking for help is not a failure, and slowing down doesn't mean giving up, it means choosing what truly matters. As OutDaughtered continues, this chapter stands out as one of the most meaningful, not because of drama, but because of honesty. Adam's low point and Blayke's panic attack became catalysts for growth, awareness, and deeper connection within the family. In the end, the Busbys emerged from this moment more united, more aware, and more intentional. Life is still busy, the house is still loud, and challenges still arise. But now there's a renewed commitment to balance, communication, and care both for themselves and for each other. And for Adam Busby, that lesson may be the most important one he's ever learned. Strength isn't about enduring everything silently. Sometimes it's about stopping, listening, and choosing your family over everything else. OutDaughtered. Busby family finally returning to TV screens in 2023. Season 9 release date. For a long time now, fans of OutDaughtered have been asking the same question over and over again, and that question is simple but powerful. Is the Busby family finally coming back to our TV screens in 2023? And if so, when can we expect Season 9 to arrive? After months of silence, speculation, social media clues, and emotional updates from the family themselves, it feels like the conversation has reached a turning point. The Busbys have never been just another reality TV family. Over the years, they've become a household name, a symbol of resilience, chaos, love, and real-life parenting at its most intense. So when OutDaughtered quietly disappeared from the TLC lineup, it left a noticeable gap not just in programming, but in the hearts of viewers who had grown up watching Blayke and the Quints navigate life together. Adam and Danielle Busby didn't just invite cameras into their home for entertainment. From the very beginning, OutDaughtered stood out because it showed a real family facing extraordinary circumstances. Raising the only all-girl quintuplets in the United States while also parenting an older daughter was never going to be easy, and the show never pretended it was. Viewers watched sleepless nights, medical appointments, emotional breakdowns, laughter-filled chaos, and moments of deep vulnerability. That honesty is what made the show special, and it's also what made the long break feel so unsettling. Unlike some reality shows that disappear quietly and are quickly replaced, OutDaughtered left behind unanswered questions. As 2023 began, speculation ramped up quickly. Fans noticed that TLC hadn't officially canceled the show, but there was also no confirmed renewal announcement. This gray area fueled endless online discussions. Some believed the show was finished for good, while others insisted the Busbys were simply taking a break. Adam and Danielle themselves didn't rush to clarify things, which only added to the mystery. Instead, they focused on sharing bits of their personal lives on social media, and those updates became the main source of clues for viewers desperate to know what was really happening behind the scenes. One of the biggest reasons fans believed OutDaughtered could return was the Busbys' continued connection to TLC. Over the years, Adam and Danielle have been open about how filming impacts their family, especially as the girls get older. The Quints are no longer toddlers. They're developing their own personalities, opinions, and emotional needs. Filming a reality show with young children is one thing, but continuing as they grow older requires constant reassessment. Danielle has spoken candidly about the pressure of balancing privacy with public life, while Adam has addressed mental health struggles that were intensified by constant scrutiny. Those honest admissions actually strengthened the belief that the show wasn't over forever, just paused. Rather than walking away entirely, the Busbys appeared to be taking control of their narrative. They were prioritizing their kids, their marriage, and their own well-being before making any major decisions about returning to television. That approach resonated with many fans, who appreciated the transparency even without a formal announcement. Throughout 2022 and into early 2023, subtle hints kept appearing. Adam shared behind-the-scenes style content that looked suspiciously polished, leading some to wonder if cameras were quietly rolling again. Danielle posted reflective messages that felt similar to the emotional tone she often shared before previous seasons aired. While none of these posts explicitly confirmed a new season, they created an atmosphere of cautious optimism. Fans began to believe that Season 9 wasn't a matter of if, but when. Another key factor driving the excitement was TLC's history with the Busby family. OutDaughtered has consistently been one of the network's strongest family-focused shows. Its appeal stretches across age groups, from parents who relate to the chaos to younger viewers who enjoy watching the girls grow up. TLC understands the value of that connection. Networks rarely let go of a successful franchise without a clear replacement, and no other show quite filled the space OutDaughtered left behind. Season 8 ended without a sense of finality, which is important. There was no emotional goodbye, no last episode messaging, and no closure that typically accompanies a series finale. Instead, it felt like a pause, a breath taken between chapters. That alone suggested the door was still open for Season 9, even if it took longer than usual to open. By mid-2023, the conversation around a possible return intensified again. Fans noticed changes in filming schedules, renewed social media interest, and comments from people close to the family that hinted at something in development. While TLC remained quiet, that silence didn't feel dismissive. It felt strategic. Networks often wait until everything is locked in before making announcements, especially for shows that carry emotional weight and high expectations. Season 9, if it does arrive, would likely look different from earlier seasons. The girls are older now, and the challenges facing the Busby family have evolved. Instead of focusing solely on toddler milestones and early childhood chaos, a new season could explore school pressures, emotional development, sibling dynamics, and the complexities of parenting children who are becoming more aware of their public presence. Blayke, in particular, has grown into a thoughtful, articulate young teen, and fans have always appreciated how her perspective adds depth to the show. Danielle's health journey could also play a significant role in a new season. In recent years, she's been open about ongoing medical concerns, fatigue, and the emotional toll of trying to balance everything. Those struggles are real, relatable, and deeply human, and they align with the core reason OutDaughtered connected with viewers in the first place. The show was never about perfection, it was about honesty. Adam's mental health journey is another storyline that could bring meaningful depth to Season 9. His willingness to speak openly about anxiety, depression, and the pressure of being a provider and public figure has helped normalize conversations many people are afraid to have. A return to TV would give him an opportunity to continue that conversation in a way that feels authentic rather than forced. There's also the question of how the family has changed during the break. Time away from cameras can be transformative. Relationships shift, priorities realign, and perspectives mature. If the Busbys do return, viewers won't just be picking up where they left off. They'll be meeting a slightly different version of the family, shaped by reflection and growth. Of course, no discussion about Season 9 would be complete without acknowledging the fans themselves. The loyalty surrounding OutDaughtered is rare. Even during the hiatus, fan pages remained active, discussions continued, and reruns attracted steady viewership. That level of sustained interest sends a clear message to TLC. The audience is still there, still waiting, and still emotionally invested. Speculation about a release date has ranged widely, but many believe that if Season 9 is happening, late 2023 would make sense. It would allow enough time for production to capture meaningful content without rushing the process. It would also align with TLC's typical scheduling patterns for established shows. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the pieces appear to be slowly falling into place. What makes this potential return especially compelling is that it doesn't feel driven by ratings alone. It feels intentional. The Busbys have always emphasized that they won't continue the show unless it aligns with what's best for their family. That principle hasn't changed, and if anything, it has become stronger. A Season 9 return would likely reflect that mindset, focusing less on spectacle and more on substance. For fans, the hope of seeing the Busby family back on screen isn't just about entertainment. It's about continuity. It's about checking in on a family they've watched grow, struggle, adapt, and thrive. It's about seeing familiar faces navigate new stages of life, reminding viewers that growth doesn't stop just because the cameras turn off for a while. As 2023 continues, the question remains open, but the energy around it feels different now. It feels closer to an answer. Whether through an official TLC announcement or a subtle confirmation from Adam or Danielle, fans are watching closely, ready for any sign that OutDaughtered Season 9 is real and on the way. Until then, the story of the Busby family continues, even off-camera. Their journey hasn't paused, and if they do return to TV screens, it won't be because they have to, but because they have something meaningful left to share. And if there's one thing OutDaughtered has always done well, it's reminding us that real life, with all its messiness and beauty, is worth watching. OutDaughtered star stuns fans with another big life update. OutDaughtered star stuns fans with another big life update originally appeared on Parade. OutDaughtered star Danielle Busby has been full of surprises in 2025. She recently revealed the closure of her Grace & B boutique and shared that her family is preparing for a big move. Now, she's stunned fans once again with another major life update. The reality television star and mom to 6 girls shared a new life update on Instagram with an inspiring twist. In a caption to a slideshow of unforgettable family photos, Busby penned, "Life is beautiful. Try to convince me differently. I gave birth to Quintuplets at 28 weeks 2 days, and 10 years later, life is beautiful." The photo montage began with the OutDaughtered star showing off a green trucker hat with the logo, "Life is Beautiful," emblazoned across the front. The images that followed were a tribute to Busby's Quints, Ava, Olivia, Hazel, Riley, Parker, and eldest daughter, Blayke. The first images were photos of the girls in the hospital, followed by a sweet snapshot of each girl swaddled in a different color blanket with a hat upon their head. Another snapshot showed Busby with the Quints, in a photo taken around their first birthday. There's also a video of the girls as toddlers, running up and down a hallway. This was followed by other images of the girls as they grew, from pool time to skiing to a current image of all the Busby women, including daughter Blayke, 14, and the Quints, now 10. OutDaughtered fans were quick to share their thoughts on Busby's positive post. They posted their remarks in the comment section, encouraging the mom of 6 to continue spreading positivity. How about let's congratulate the mama who gave birth to 5 baby girls at once, who spent hours in the NICU with them and raised them to be the 10-year-old girls they are now, wrote one fan. You're an amazing woman, and you have a beautiful family. Life is beautiful, said a second. A third penned, you are such an amazing woman. Thank you for sharing your beautiful family with the world. Your girls are all so beautiful. A fourth commented, I love y'all's story. I can't tell the twins apart. I wish y'all would be back on TV. I miss the shows. TLC's OutDaughtered remains on hiatus. Currently, Danielle and her husband, Adam Busby, host a weekly podcast where they keep fans updated on their lives titled More Than Reality.